Hi, I'm Isaac and welcome to Wanderers 2040. Today I'm joined here by a very special guest in James Hooper. Welcome, James.
Thanks for having me, Isaac.
So this round is round 8 and me and James will go through the round together. Now for the first game, we got the Canberra Raiders up against the South Sydney Rabbitohs up at the nation's capital. Who do you fancy?
Well, Isaac, I'm leaning towards your Bunnies. As much as I think the Raiders aren't far away, Josh Papali'i has been rested. Jared Croker's got a shoulder injury. I think Souths will just have a little bit too much class. You like Souths?
Yes, me too. And I think Benji Marshall might set up 2 tries this time again. Now, for the first game on a Friday night, we got the Melbourne Storm up against the Cronulla Sharks, in whom have Will Chambers. Who do you fancy?
I'm leaning towards Melbourne. I think they've been clinical recently, Isaac, and Cronulla at the moment, since they made the hardline call to spear poor Johnny Morris, they've been struggling.
Yes, me too. But I think Will Chambers will have a good game, but not good enough to beat Melbourne Storm. Now, for the late game on the Friday night, we got the Broncos up against the Titans. This one will be close. Who do you fancy?
Well, Kevy's had the axe out. He's shaking the halves up again. Anthony Milford's back in. I still don't think that will be enough. Gold Coast don't have Tino, who's been one of the best signings of the season, but I still think they'll have too many points in it for the Broncos.
Yes, David Fairfield will get a double. I can guarantee you that. Now, for the first game on the Saturday, we got the Penrith Panthers up against the informed Seagulls. Who do you like?
I'll tell you what, this could be the match of the round. Tommy Turbo back has completely changed and transformed the way that the Manly Seagulls are attacking and playing. Having said that, Penrith have only lost 1 game in the last 18 months.
I know.
I think they might still have a little bit too much class for the Seagulls.
They will, and teams like Penrith, they have to finish games and will finish strongly, and I think they will. Now, for the second game on the Saturday night at 5:30 at Stadium Australia, we got the Dogs up against the Parramatta Eels. Who do you like?
I know the Dogs recorded their first win of the season last week, but I worry about this one. I think it might be a little bit of a carve-up.
And I know they won last week, but it was hardly convincing.
Oh, they dug in, they were resilient in terms of their scrambling defence. They showed some positive signs, but I still think Parramatta, far too much strike power. I think they'll handle them easy.
Yeah, they will. And now for the last game on the Saturday night, we got the Knights up against the Chookies. Who do you like?
I think the Chooks, even if James Tedesco doesn't play, we're yet to find out if he'll be in the lineup or not because of that concussion. I still think, gee, I like the look of that young Sammy Walker. What do you think of him?
Oh yes, I love him, but he's got to improve his defending. If he's gonna be a halfback like Reynolds and that, there's been so many talks about him. He needs to get his defending, but I think he just has a little bit more to go before we can say he's one of the best halfbacks that's come into the game. Now, for the first game on the Sunday, we got the Warriors up against the Cowboys. Who do you like?
I'm leaning towards I'm leaning towards the Warriors, Isaac, and I've got a young bloke for you to keep your eye on. He's a centre. His name's Rocco Berry. He was discovered by the same talent scout who found Israel Folau and Greg Inglis. His name's Peter O'Sullivan. Been working in rugby league for many, many years now. He's got a big opinion of this bloke. He'll play in the centres.
When I was watching the Warriors game, I did like the way Reece Walsh was playing. I think he's got a bright future as well as Sam Walker, but the Warriors will be too hard to beat here. And now for the late game on the Sunday at 4:05 up at Wynn Stadium, we got the Dragons up against the Tigers. Who do you fancy?
Much as it pains me to say it, I think the Tigers are headed for yet another loss. They're going to be in the crosshairs all week after last week's abysmal performance. But I just think St George Illawarra with Ben Hunt back in at halfback, at home in Wollongong, they might just have a few too many points in them.
Yeah, they will. I don't think the Tigers get up in this. Sorry, Hooper. Now, who's your game of the round?
Match of the round, I am going to go for your Bunnies up against the Raiders. I think the Green Machine at home Thursday night off 3 losses, they're desperate. As much as I think Souths will win, I still think Canberra will have a red-hot crack.
They will have a red-hot crack, and I'm going to agree with you. I think that's my game of the round, but it's tight, my game of the round, but that's it. Now, thank you very much for coming on today,
Pleasure, mate. Thank you for having me.
I'm Isaac, signing off from Wanderers 2040.